This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 20, and it reads, Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely, surely, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Makakodash. Double honors to my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, I agree in Millstone, that rule well, that teach well, that taught me this truth. Peace, love, and salutation to the Bayaf Tawadah, which is the house of David, which is the elect. Shalom, shalom, this is your brother Yanagai from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. Coming back to you again. Okay, breaking news. Okay, I got a video queued up. Okay, and it's going to set it all, man. It's going to reveal it all, man. Okay, but we know, right, that the MO to the TB has to be implemented first, man, because things are heating up, man. Okay, things are really heating up over there in the east, man. All right, with Iran and the Israel, right, and US, right. Okay, all of these skirmishes, right. Okay, everything is heating up, man. Okay, but that the World War III cannot pop off unless the implementation of the MO to the T to the B, man. Okay, and you know the elder apostles, right, elder bishops and elders have been saying this, man. Okay, over and over, man. Okay, we're here at the end, man. Okay, so let me play the video real quick that I got queued up. Okay, and Lord willing, the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel is edified. Okay.
News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors.
But there are huge questions about what the reaction is and what happens next. Now, President Trump again says on Truth Social, he refers to let's make peace. Well, is Iran going to be ready to make peace? Now America has taken part in this bombing. What will the reaction be in the wider region, where we saw on Friday, after midday prayers, significant protests, tens, hundreds of thousands of people out on the streets in many countries throughout the region, angry at Israel's bombing, and a lot of that anger will now turn to the United States. As we've said, there will be huge concerns for the safety of US civilians, US military, US interests throughout this region, which are multifarious, in not just troops on the ground. You have the US Fifth Fleet docked in the region, in the Gulf. You have military camps spread throughout the region, but of course you have multiple businesses, embassies, consulates. So there are huge numbers of things to be of concern about. There have been certainly worries about the US consulate here in Tel Aviv and whether or not that would potentially be a site for retaliation.
We just saw another post from President Trump. He says, I will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m. Eastern Time at the White House regarding our very successful military operation in Iran. This is an historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world, he says. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you, says the president. Hal, the word historic. How historic is it? The U.S. just struck within Iran proper.
I think it's pretty historic.
Truck Manager is a multiplayer management game where you control your own trucking company.
Striking nuclear facilities, 3 nuclear sites within Iran. I want to read the statement in full for our viewers from the president. He says, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. all planes are safely on their way home. We were tracking this throughout the day, Natasha, those B-2 bombers that were headed there, and he is now saying they have attacked Fordo. This post goes on to read, "Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Throughout the day, we were tracking if the president would get involved. He set, of course, this 2-week deadline of if they were or were not going to get involved, the U.S., of course. And now we're seeing he made this decision ultimately within 3 days for the U.S. to get involved in this conflict with Iran. Now, of course, we watch to see how Iran responds to this, how they will retaliate. A lot of questions remaining in the air right now. If the president was in communication with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ahead of these strikes. And right before I came on to speak with you and we were monitoring this situation, Natasha, I saw Secretary of State Marco Rubio outside of the West Wing working the phones. And then moments right after I saw him hang up the phone, President Trump posted this on social media, and we know that he's still in the Oval Office meeting with his national security team. But this is a defining moment for President Trump and his presidency as he now announces that the U.S. has joined Israel in its fight against Iran, Natasha.
Yeah, and we are continuing to cover this breaking news. Is these 3 nuclear sites in Iran that were the target of these attacks? Does it seem from preliminary information that Fordo, though, was the primary target here? President Trump describing a full payload of bombs. What are we learning about that?
Yeah, you saw that, Natasha, in the end of that post there, specifically talking about Fordo and how a full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. And throughout the week, this was something we were tracking. Fordo, this site that President Trump acknowledged the Israeli arsenal did not have the strength to go all the way underground and fully destabilize this site in Fordo. And moving forward, of course, this was something that the U.S. was very adamant on, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And Fordo was, of course, a primary site of them building this nuclear weapon in Iran. We're, of course, going to continue and watch what the developments are out of Iran tonight as we monitor the president still in the Oval Office with his national security team, likely going to be a late night here at the White House, Natasha.
Yeah, certainly. And it seems that that primary facility where Iran was conducting uranium enrichment, any confirmation so far on if those attacks were successful in actually penetrating deep enough into that entire tunnel system, that deep bunker where the uranium enrichment was taking place?
I've been monitoring the White House here, Natasha, and haven't been able to monitor what's going on the ground in Iran just yet. But of course, that was the goal of this strike by the U.S. on Fordo, was to destabilize and stop them from building any uranium enrichment there. So likely that's what the U.S. is hoping for.
Do you have any sense of how quickly that developed and where it came from?
When he told us that he was going to make this decision at the last second. I don't think that was quite what happened here, but this came together incredibly quickly. And this is, without question, the most consequential decision Donald Trump has ever made. And where this goes, will this be consistent with the promise that he made when he first got in to politics, when he first became a presidential candidate, and he talked about ending forever wars? The question now is, did he just possibly take the first step towards ending what has effectively been a forever war, which is United States adversity with Iran, something that goes back to the hostage crisis and the seizing of our embassy in 1979. Iran has been a challenge for every American president since Jimmy Carter, in many ways overshadowing other initiatives, other efforts to get objectives in the Middle East. So did he effectively put an end to the Iranian threat, or was this the first salvo in yet another forever war in the Middle East? I reached out to a prominent Arab diplomat from a country that's allied with the United States with a simple question. I think this is the question that we should all be asking: what now? What next? And this diplomat said, honestly, no clue. The Iranians have a vote now. So what happens? We have 40,000 troops roughly in the Middle East. that's a force, and it's a force that can be used to protect American assets, to attack the Iranians, but it's also a target with. And the Iranians, their nuclear program may now effectively be gone, but the thousands of mid-range missiles it has, short-range missiles it has, can be used to target not just American troops and American assets in the region, but American allies. I don't know which way this is going to go, but I can tell you this. This has the feel of a decision that is far weightier than any Donald Trump has had to make in his time as a political figure in his time as president.
This comes after days of negotiations to try to get Iran to the negotiating table. The President of the United States saying it would have to be unconditional surrender, saying enrichment would have to stop. We heard from negotiations in Europe that was not being accepted by the Iranians, that they would not stop enriching uranium. There was a thought that this could go as long as...
Okay, man, so you hear it, man. All right, you hear it, man. Hold on. Let me grab a precept real quick. Because everything, you know what's so interesting about that, I seen the interview with Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, man. Very, very interesting, eye-opening interview, man. Brothers and sisters haven't watched it, right? Go ahead and watch that Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz interview, man. All right. So let me see. Let me grab that. Okay. Let me see. This is Let me see. Let's start at Jeremiah 50. Okay, Jeremiah 50. Let's start at 13, and it reads. It says, "Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashimel Shai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues," man. Okay, so, it's not only famine, death, destruction, right? The sword, pestilence that's going to plague this place, man. It's those nuclear missiles too, man. Those thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, that's what's going to make the place wholly desolate, right? It said, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh Bashimel Shai. Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bashimel Shai. Take vengeance upon her as she had done, do unto her." Right? "Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handled the sickle in the time of the harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land." Okay, so you're gonna start to see, and you know what's so crazy? It will be right now. Will behoove these other heathen nations that's here, okay, in Babylon the Great, to get the hell up out of here, man. Okay, because this place is gonna be judged. Okay. But hey, man, we ain't studying, we ain't really studying about, the heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? We were more worried about our people, okay? But I'm saying, like, it will behoove them, okay, to, just go back into their own land, man. Okay, like the scriptures say, all flesh assorted to its kind, man. Okay, it's already gonna be a form of tribalism over here in America anyway, right? All right, people latching on to who they know, you know what I'm saying, Latinos with Latinos, okay, like northern tribes with northern tribes, southern tribes with southern tribes, right? But yeah, man, okay, we at the end of Esau Edom's rulership, man, okay? And the more that they get more involved in this war, and you know what I'm saying, the more they decline, because this is the will of you gotta understand, this is the will of the Heavenly Father, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me end it off on this. This is Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. Right. So the Lord had given us light, man, to see all these things, man, the prophecies, okay, know who we truly are, right, to see in this dark world, man, okay. He has awakened us to the truth, man. Now it says here, verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And that's key right there. Okay. Matter of fact, what's that? Luke 21, and I'll end it off on this. Okay. Luke 21 and 32. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourself, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with suffering, and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that they come upon you unaware, man. And this is the reason why we're set up as watchmen, man. Okay, to watch, to see when that day approaches, man. Okay, so it won't take us off guard, man. Okay, but a lot of our people, man, is going to be distracted, going to be drunken, right, in the night, right, be caught up with the affairs of this life, man. Okay, the scriptures say that the love of the world is enmity with the heavenly Father, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay, the love of the world is enmity with the heavenly Father, man. Okay, we have to understand what's really essential, man. What's really important, man. Okay, the prophecy is being occupied in prophecy, man. Okay, and this is big. Verse 35, for as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Is going to catch a lot of people off guard, man. Okay, but we who are of the know, right, we are not drunken with wine, man. We are not parlaying, and we're not, just, party spirit, man. Okay, that sword is being sharpened, man. Okay, and we're not to make mirth, man. We're to take heed, man, because the Lord is going to give it into the hand of the slayer, man, to use it, man. Okay, whether it be the modern day gun or whether it be the thermonuclear missiles, man. Ultimately, man. Verse 36, the point, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Okay, so prayer is key, man. Prayer and watching is key, man. Okay, we got to keep a healthy fear of prayer, of fear, right? And also be on our watch, man, right? Watching and see when these prophecies are popping off like popcorn, man. Okay, so yeah, man. Okay, breaking news. Okay, the U.S. bomb Iran. Okay, this is the third woe cometh quickly. I just want to end this lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakodash. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.